whatever he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Ready, 50, plant.
Right there, 56. I don't even know why this team showed up.
5.
To throw is Mitchell on 1st and 10. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Back to throw. Mitchell. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Myles Garrett picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Well, someone came to play today.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. We heard about it all week, didn't we? Especially when we visited practice. He thought he had a good matchup in front of him, and he's taking full advantage right now.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Let's take it inside his own 40. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Now a handoff looking right. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Hamlet. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland 1st down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Hey, lock it. Topper. Yes.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. And a look now at the starting offense for the Browns.
And they're coming off a good win on the road last week, but they do know that they have a home game next week. So all the focus has to be, can they get a 2nd win on the road and make going home that much sweeter? That's the intention in this ball game.
Look at me. Go.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
So many play callers in the red zone worry about the negative effects of a play that they're about to call. For this guy, all he's worried about is gaining yardage and putting the ball in the hands of his playmakers.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Mitchell to throw again. And finding the tight end Hooper. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 4 yards on the 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Into this game, they're ranked number 22 in the NFL against the pass, Charles.
What they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against some people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a 1st down. On 1st down, Mims. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 9 carries, 99 yards.
And that's just not enough carries for a running back to get loose and really feel like he's into the game, because they have to have enough volume to establish a rhythm, not just for themselves, but also to get in sync with their offensive line so they can read the blocks properly and they can execute them. I expect them to get a minimum of 15 carries in this game, and the optimum number would be 20-plus.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, Mitchell. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Myles Garrett able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Rock it. 59 mark. Ready.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping... Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Now 3rd and 2.
Now Mitchell from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. This is taken at the 15. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Mark that down as an 85-yard punt return. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
Extra point safely through, and it's now 21-0. And we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's in his zone, second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
On first down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef, they want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Room to run inside the 40. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Point after, up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Mitchell now. From the gun, he'll throw. And he will find his man on the outside. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Looking left side, he's got it, complete. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Mitchell operating from the gun. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. Now the Titans will use their third and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan... All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here are the Browns to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well.
Come. Chance.
Boy, the run on first down, a disaster as he's tackled well behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Five.
5 yards gets him back near the original line of scrimmage as they'll be left with a 3rd and long.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down.
Strong right. Strong right. Hey, 4 down. 4 down.
Hey, Haywood.
50 seconds to Mike.
Look, squeeze.
Back to throw. Hamlet escaping the pressure right. It got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Hey, lock it.
Don't get nervous.
And they give this time to the tailback. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
You got tape.
And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Hard. Buzz. Ready.
To throw on 2nd down. Hamlet out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Rock it.
Check 99. Check 99.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. To throw is Mitchell. Throwing on 3rd and long. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. On now is the Titans punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is taken at the 23.
Come on, fellas.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Browns drive about to get started. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is. I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. But go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That third one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ball game. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Mitchell, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Come on, D. Check.
Hey, Sam on.
Switch. Hey, check 24.
Fair. Hey, Delta.
Following the fumble recovery, Hamlin, he's going to go up top for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Shit. Check.
Go.
6 guys. Check 6 guys.
He finds Riddick, complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal.
Watch out.
Sit.
They'll try to run this one in. And he takes this one in for a Browns score. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, The head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job. Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. You know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Look, squeeze.
Watch the whip. Check 26, check 26.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, a broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because I think blowout.
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out, and no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Hey, Foxtrot.
Let's go, D.
Looking to throw. Hamlet flush to his right. On the run. He'll let this go deep. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
On the set.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Mitchell back to the air on second down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The Titans on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. Back to throw. Mitchell. And that is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to...
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
Out. Shift. Hustle.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go.
Fair.
36. Check.
Gone.
Big edge.
Check 13.
Hey, Echo.
59.
Take go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Trying to lay one up deep. And he backs it away, and it falls down incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Check. Mike, check. 59. Too little, Def. Mike 5'9".
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
Slam. Watch safety creeping. Safety
Fight.
To throw again. Hamlin. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Browns, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, they'll drop down to 1-3.